Next on the agenda, we have panel discussion number 9, which will be moderated by Michael Grafferty and will be centered around the Fostering Islamic Capital Markets for Sustainable and Responsible Investment. Can we have Michael join us on stage, please? As for the panelists today we have Mohamed Damak, Global Head of Islamic Finance at S&P Global Ratings, as well as Norhaziki, which is the Head of Global Sharia Governance at Credit Agricole, as well as Hany Sabry, the Head of Investment and Capital Market Products at ADIB. And last but not least, we have Abdul Hadi Shaikh, the co-founder at Islamicly app. Have a great discussion, gentlemen.
I'd like to bring into the conversation, Abdul, you're really at the frontier of bringing in new investors, and particularly, if I understand correctly, retail and smaller investors or family investors, if I may say. Where do you see interest in sustainable Islamic finance? Is it real at the retail level?
Thank you, Mike. To introduce myself first, I am half a hat of a conventional financial institution. We service a lot of large financial institutions and supporting them with the data on Sharia compliance, and half a hat of introducing tech-oriented products using which all the expertise of all the institutions and of all the panels before us spoke about, and getting it down to the retail level. So very interesting question that Mike has put up to me, that at the grassroots level, at the individual level, each of us individually, forget our institutions, are we interested in looking at Sharia compliant as well as ESG compliant products to be part of our portfolios? The answer is a clear yes, from two perspectives. One, everybody is now thinking and is already convinced that ESG is a key part of all our lives, whether it be our food, whether it be financial services, whether it be our clothing, whether it be our entertainment, whether it be our travel. Everybody understands that, yes, we've got to be concerned about the ESG, the carbon credit issues, the climate change issues. At the same time, there is a huge amount of interest that has been coming into retail investing on the Sharia compliance side. I can tell you this, that on a scholarly level, like how the Sharia scholars brought about the change in Sharia financial institutions in the past 4 decades. I'm saying past 4 decades because I'm counting modern Islamic finance, starting out from the establishment of DIB way back in 1970s to now. It's been 40 years. Sharia investing has increased many folds from then onwards. But is it time now to also look at ESG and grow the Sharia compliant industry along with the ESG industry? The answer is yes. And the demand actually has to come in from individual retail investors. The COVID boom that we saw, wherein retail investors has participated massively into the financial markets and even beating down all the estimates of the corporate institutions, thinking that the markets will move the way the corporate institutions would like it to move. That myth has been broken in the COVID seasons. Yes, as a straightforward answer, we on our app, the Islamicly app that we have 250,000 users, constantly get asked that is Sharia in line with ESG? And as all the panelists over here agree, Sharia inherently is compliant with ESG. The problem that we are seeing now, which is getting addressed as we speak, is the codification of both of these things. Modern Islamic finance, modern Islamic investing grew many folds as soon as we had codification. As Juan and Hany has rightly pointed out, that the codification helped the growth of the industry. Similarly, we would like to see from a Sharia scholarly perspective, Sharia scholarly thought perspective, that we overlap all our Sharia standards with ESG standards. Inshallah, that will be done very soon. I see a lot of initiative happening in the market. At the same time, the two-pronged approach, the scholarly approach is one side. The second is the demand. Sustainability also means that a product should be sustainable in the market. It should be accessible to the public. We follow the 3P formula essentially. Is there a sustainable product available? Is it at a sustainable price? And do we have a sustainable penetration strategy? And that's where fintech come in. That's where people like us at Islamicly come in to create that reach. In just about, just an example I'd like to give you. A mutual fund got launched in India about 20 years back, which is Sharia compliant. In 20 years, the AUMs have been less than 200 million. Using a fintech platform like us, we launched an insurance policy linked to investment policy linked to an insurance policy in India. And in just about 2 months, we have AUMs of $10 million. So that's the power of fintech. That's the power of retail investing. And yes, there has to be awareness that has to be created. That's one side. Fintechs can do that as well. Create products, create agility, reduce the price points, increase the penetration, and bring more and more products to the consumers, which are ESG compliant and Sharia compliant. That's my thought.
Well, while you're thinking, I'm going to ask each of you what you would like to see, beginning with Abdul, to see in the future to help Islamic sustainable Islamic finance. If you could wish one thing, which direction would you like to see?
Absolutely. One wish list that we always have as fintech practitioners or even as industry practitioners is codifying a set of rules through a governance framework. That definitely helps. And one other thing that I definitely wish list is harmonization of these standards. I mean, Islamic finance industry is a pretty nascent industry. It has been growing for the past half century. I think already we have multiple standards of governance starting off from the West to the Middle East to the Far East. If we can have harmonization on that side, that will accelerate the acceptance by institutions, retail individuals, as well as financial institutions in the middle. So harmonization is one thing which I definitely want to wish for. Just the last comments between this panel and the lunch. I just wanted to share this, which just hit my mind. 15 years back, when I was introducing myself as to what do I do, I couldn't say that I'm in the Sharia investing space back home in India because they wouldn't understand that. So I used to say that I am part of an ethical finance group. We're doing something on the ethical investment side. I believe I did tell this to a professor of mine in college. And he said that, so you mean to say the other side is unethical? The answer is now. The other side is now thinking of ESG. So the answer is true. The other side was a little bit unethical at that point in time. And that summarizes the entire discussion that yes, finance, investments, and savings need to be ethical, social, and green. That's the summary.
Well put. I think those are words we can take away. It just remains then to thank our panelists for your comments. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.